You ever find yourself bored and looking around for something to play? Can I make some suggestions? Hi, I'm Kuma. I'm a variety streamer, and every Monday I stream a showcase of demos and indie games. I play anything I can get my hands on, and I want to share that with you. So, once a month I'm going to try and highlight a few demos or games that I really enjoyed or I thought that were interesting during my showcases. I even reached out to a few of the devs to try and get their thoughts. So, without further ado, here's some suggestions from January's showcases. Are you and your friends looking for something quick, fun, and a bit rage baity? SOS Ops might be the game for you. You get to play these little wobbly clay people, kind of similar to Gang Beast or Human Fall Flat or any one of those games like that with little wobbly clay people and ragdoll physics. You're tasked with handling emergencies around the city, ranging from rescuing cats to helping someone move in to even fixing the entire sewer system, or the most important task, finding all the knickknacks inside Art Doc's office. I played for about an hour or two with streamer Aaron Balacerca. He's also a variety streamer, very nice guy, pretty funny. You should go check him out. Link down here somewhere. We went through a few of the levels, and while I struggled a bit with the controls, I think that it went pretty smoothly. Nothing was overly difficult, and even at the harder levels, because it does range with like little stars. But yeah, like at the harder levels, the pacing was pretty quick, but in like a really good way. So I'd say if you have only about 30 minutes to play, you could easily load up and get through a level, maybe two, depending on the difficulty. We wanted to create a game where players could do anything from leisurely walks to complete chaos. We tried to give them freedom of choice, inspired by the idea of complete independence. The initial MVP was ready in 3 months. Then for another 4 months, we worked on improvements, adding new missions, customization, and bug fixes. Initially, the project involved one game designer, one developer, one level designer, and several 3D artists. The main objective was to create a user-friendly and engaging character controller. We've been working for a long time to make the physics of motion simple and intuitive, but at the same time interesting. We are preparing a major update, but we can't disclose all the details yet. You can also check out our other projects. For example, we significantly updated the demo version of Pow Pow, which is available on Steam. Side note from Kuma, I've actually played Pow Pow, and it is a really fun time. Great game for friends, kind of like Overcooked, but with a little bit more management involved. Like you have to actually go and like shop for materials and build up your shop. And like there's a little storyline of you needing to pay your bills and stuff. Really fun, recommended. Imagine, you're a cop. There's been a murder. You have to go and interrogate a suspect. The suspect is a nightmare-inspired head attached to that car lift thingy that's inside the mechanic shop, and the head also like moves around on a weird tentacle thing. Base Interrogation comes from Odale Studios, a studio that we have seen before in this channel. The creator of Dead Exhale is releasing this really neat multiple ending mystery game pretty soon. It might actually be out by the time that this video goes up. Much like with Dead Exhale, Base Interrogation has really great atmosphere, filling you with concern and dread as you start uncovering the mystery. The game itself plays a lot like a visual novel, but it's got a little bit of exploration, so you can kind of move around the room. You can look around the rooms that you're in and interact with some of the items, and you can interact with the most important item, the kitty. Look, you can pet him to relax, and you can give him a cute little hat that you can get based on whatever endings and routes you've gone. Talking with the characters give you a set of answers that branch off into different routes, ranging from going down into the sewers to going inside the Nightmare Head's memories and ending up in another realm stuck with people inside these weird tumor-looking growths. And all of this is just in the demo. I spent about maybe an hour and a half trying to get all the endings. Damn you, One Branch. Oh, although there has been a new update since the recording of this video, and now I can go to spots where I can make different choices to try and get all the endings. So, I'm gonna have to try that later. But, yeah, it took me about an hour and a half to try and get all the endings that I did. I can imagine the full game taking maybe another 5-6 hours to complete if you're a tryhard or just nosy like I am. Inspiration for the game came from a love of detective shows and mainly the movie called The Cell. It's just me working on the game, but I have about 10 voice actors and I've had plenty of help from the Steam public with testing. The biggest challenge was trying to get voice recognition working. I didn't end up being able to do it, so I had to compromise with a traditional dialogue system. Likely third quarter 2026. Slay the Spire is an all-time favorite of mine. Did you have a DS as a kid? I did it, but I played one, so it's kind of the same thing, right? Deadside is a short horror game where you go to check in on your friend after they flake out on you. You arrive at his apartment and dude's locked himself in the bathroom closet. For some reason. Just so you don't want to hang out. Damn. The closet is weirdly locked, so you have to go looking for a way to open the door. Going into his room to try and figure out how to get the door open, you see that this game he's been raving about is on the screen. Dude, if you didn't want to hang out and play on the DS, you could have just said so, but no, you gotta play a haunted video game instead. And now look, you're stuck in the bathroom, dumbass. The game starts asking you to find all these hidden symbols around the apartment. I think my favorite part about this game is the whole DS layout. Half the screen you can see the symbols and the ghosts, and the other half is used to take notes, which I mostly just use to doodle and write silly things, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, and it also works with drawing tablets, so that was a lot of fun. The game is also by Siactro and is also really short. Doesn't seem like a sequel is going to be teased for this, but I think it's great as is. I was just really yearning for the Nintendo DS times, and especially Nanashi no Game. So I figured with 2 weeks until Halloween, I'd just make a small little game that kind of resembles playing a horror game on a Nintendo DS. Usually it's just me for everything except music and porting. I make the graphics, programming, designs, etc. But music is something I sadly have zero feel for, so I have other people do it. For porting it's even worse. I'm not a programmer, so I wouldn't even know where to start. The most challenging aspect about Deadside was probably how handling 2 screens in a low res rendered onto a plane but still be 100% interactable for the mouse. It's really crazy how much thinking around the corner was involved there. Also, I read people think it's just one big screen with an overlay, but that is sadly not true. I wish it were, but that would have made some things a bit impossible for me. So I had to fiddle around till I managed to get 2 separate screens rendered with one being interactable even though it was just a texture. Deadside was a fun little project, and if people would have really liked it, I would have turned it into a bigger thing for sure. That wasn't the case though, so I'm off to do something else. Already working on that something else, just gonna take a moment before I can actually show it. Froggo's Adventure Verdant Venture. It's a super cheap, small little bite-sized NES-style platformer that manages to catch a mix between Kirby's Adventure and other late NES titles so well, it's insane. It's also super fun. I have no idea how many times I played through it now, but man, it's awesome. Also, it's getting a sequel this year. Oh, okay, I thought I was waiting for like a... That was cool. I like that intro. That was neat. I was waiting for a more aggressive, like, a flower-based menace from another world? Is this the shopkeeper from hell? You like anime? Tasty Ramen is an odd little game, also from Seactro, where you're playing as a girl who's gonna help her uncle run his shop. You arrive and Uncle's nowhere to be seen, and there's this little sentient ramen bowl patrolling around, and... I mean, I may or may not have taken some sort of illegal substances before I started my shift because everything looks trippy and colorful. You have to grab these large batteries and put them into a freezer. It becomes obvious why you have to do that after you find all of them, but I can't really recall if the game explicitly said to do that or if I just kind of inferred that and went cylinder going rectangle hole. My favorite part about this game for sure is the colors and how wacky everything looks. Also the 90s anime vibe. Like, it just looks nice. It's a fun time. The game is painfully short though, and it does tease a sequel. However, the game has more or less been abandoned. So, most likely no sequel in the near future. Although a sequel would be really, really cool. Like I said, the game is painfully short. It's about like 30 minutes, give or take. Mine might have been a little bit longer because my chat likes to torture me, and I had a goose running around putting things on my screen and stealing my mouse. But if you want something fun to play and only have like 40 minutes or something, say this would be the game for you. So, your cat sucks and wants you to get killed, but your wife would be so upset if you don't rescue him. You play as a guy looking for his lost cat, Lil Nightshade, which I think is a great name for a trap emo SoundCloud rapper or something like that with like really edgy lyrics. The game starts you off at the entrance to some graveyard with your wife sobbing incoherently into the phone.
Bro,
calm down.
I forgot.
It's going to be okay. We'll find him, I promise. I see the poster.
Amy, it's
So I'm starting to see
okay.
why you got creeped out and left. This place is beyond
Okay, bye.
dark. Let me look
Okay,
around.
bye, Brutal.
I'll call you if I find anything.
A little Nightshade watching you from the corner like nothing's wrong. You know, how cats do. You end up chasing the cat around and discover that there's a secret in the graveyard. And a creepy goth baddie who definitely smokes at least a pack a day.
Foolish thieves looking for riches among the graves. But there are no graves for ghosts.
Same voice actress too.
Now they whisper about me.
Made by WRF Studios, a dev that we've covered on this channel before, Edge of Evil is a horror title where you mostly run around solving puzzles, at least in the demo. I feel like the game has a fun vibe to it, so I didn't feel uneasy or scared, although the bird jump scare gets me every single time. I think he actually did that in his last game too. Birds are scary when they jump out at you. The demo's pretty linear with a bit of a bad end to teach you what not to do. The demo's also pretty short at about 30 minutes, so you can easily finish it in one single sitting. I think my favorite part is how Little Nightshade just does what cats do and walks off the minute you try to grab him. It's really funny how this little cat has ended up causing me several deaths in the demo, and will probably cause me several more when the full game releases. I am very excited to see all these little deaths. I was inspired after finishing Last Half of Darkness 35th Anniversary to make a more linear style scary game, like some of the other popular Steam scary games, with more jump scares and less inventory and back and forth running around. But who knows, it's not finished, it could end up being like that since that's usually how I design puzzles. Just me, solo dev, but contract work, some work out when necessary. It's a bit of a challenge to balance out the jump scare and creepy parts so they come off correctly and not overdone or corny. No official release date, but shooting for April, but only if it's ready. I was recently somewhat impressed by Forgot. It's a little different and seemed like the dev wanted to not only entertain, but say something in the game also. Last and not least, Night Stalkers. You know those old arcade games with the laundromat that had a whole story mode in it? Night Stalkers gives off those vibes, but with some crazy heavy lore. Made by Rodrigo Testa, Night Stalkers is a side-scroller where you play as a mercenary tasked with taking out Dracula. The demo available on itch lets you play level 1-1, so you get a basic outline of how to play, weapons and specials you can use, and start to get hooked into the story. The demo's like 30 minutes, but you could play longer if you play with the unlockable character or you try to unlock everything. My absolute favorite thing is the cutscenes and the writing. The game immediately starts you off with a gorgeous cutscene that had me and my entire chat in awe. I was not expecting voice acting, and I was certainly not expecting so much exposition to be given immediately. And the ending cutscene has me dying for more. I really want to know how the story's going to continue. I want to know more about the Snake Lady. I'm curious. I'll show you just the opening cutscene, and then we'll go into the dev questions. The bit it's got going on. Ooh. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, he's dead.
Voivode, it can't be.
It pleases me to see you remember, old friend. In a time where people forget in haste, I would have been overjoyed to grant the knaves that ambushed you the suffering they deserve. However, this inerudite oaf cannot conceive of how to properly discipline your enemies. Either way, you are much too aware that such unfit treatment never befell you during my reign. Yes?
Of course, sire.
Do you remember what people claimed would happen when you first entered upon my court?
They claimed I would have been staked on the spot.
Yes, and look at you now. Were you not better stationed after receiving my boons and flattery?
Naturally.
Gave him
my
boons.
liege.
So you see, my friend, the same stern hand that disciplines the wayward slave is the same hand that leads a nation to prosperity, and that rewards mercy to the deserving. Such strength is sorely lacking in the court of pitiful Radu, is it not? Will his appeasement of the Ottomans lead our proud nation to glory?
All right,
I
at least
think
they're
not.
reading.
This is why I require
I
need
feel like
of
there's a
your
lot
aid,
of lore
comrade.
happening.
What can I even do,
Okay,
sire?
so this guy wants to take over.
You remember too well many in your standing sided with Radu to usurp my throne, do you not? Perhaps there is no need for a new tool when the one that exists has proven so efficient. Your house, as well, would naturally fall under the protection of the Son of Dragon. Is that prospect not more promising than the dainty-handed rule of the handsome?
Yes, sire.
Good. Go in health, friend, and forget never who has saved your life this day.
Okay, we're plotting. It's the late 15th century. I was basically finding some comic books on historical Dracula by serendipity. I was taken by how many of the conflicts describing them were pretty similar to things still going on to this day, and I always sort of meant to do something with the concept. So I basically went back to two characters I had created once before, and I placed them in that timeline. I've been trying to get back into game dev since I created a commercial release some 10 years ago, but I was always trying to do new things, so I guess I was overshooting my mark. Doing another platformer on a fresh setting seemed to be the balance that I was looking for. I began doing the first preliminary work on the game in late 2024, but I was always putting it on the back burner for other projects or having to focus on work. I guess that full-time, it might have been around the 6-month mark. I was mostly doing this by myself, but I always run things by friends or acquaintances to see if things need improving. I was also incredibly fortunate to have so many talented voice actors taking a chance on my project. I'm not a good coder, so despite the fact I'm using a maker, like Team Fusion, to ameliorate these issues, they never really go away. I also had to figure out a reliable way to convert 3D models to sprite art as I'm working off those, and I thankfully landed on a very good method after tinkering with it for the longest time, even before deciding to make this particular game. Whenever I manage to finish it, I plan to keep releasing progress demos to keep people interested. I really need to get back on the habit of playing indies, but developing and work leave little time for anything else. I'll nominate Our Bad Ending, the last indie I played, and a nice little slow burn horror story focused on two girls in love. I'm excited to see what other games I run across in February, and I am eager to look at the games that the devs suggested. What are some fun games that you guys played in January? What are some indie games or demos you think other people should check out? Maybe I'll check out some of the ones that are in the comments, so yeah, make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe if you want. All those would be nice. Anyway, I'll see you cuties around. Have a nice rest of your day, night, whatever time zone, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.